Hey VC, it's Mazzy here, and this is a contest entry to Dots and Loops, Dan's contest about, I'm paraphrasing, it's a little guilty pleasures, but it's really not that. It's just 5 records that we just like that maybe reviewers hate or other people didn't get, or maybe it's something, I'm adding these things now, maybe an album by an artist that was different than their other albums or something. But anyway, I picked 5. It seemed to be, you could just show one, you could talk about it, you play it a little bit, whatever. But I'm new to his station, even though he's been around forever. But the Cosmic Vinyl, Cosmic Vinyl guy, I love watching your videos, Cosmic. Can I call you Mr. Cosmic? I saw his entry this morning and got me into dots and loops and dots, sort of, you know. So the first one is actually one of my favorite folk singers. He did an album for A&M Records that the critics just didn't get. Now, obviously, it's a cult favorite, but Phil Oakes, Pleasures from the Harbor. And the difference with this album, you know, he was a folk singer, very protest. He's a folk singer, sort of the anti-Dylan in a way, where he had this golden, pretty boy voice, gorgeous voice. And he, unfortunately, he eventually hung himself. So, but he made this record, Pleasures of the Harbor, and I actually just recently found the very rare, different mix, the mono version as well. I'm playing the stereo here, but it's just a beautiful album. It has great piano playing, kind of jazzy, pop-ish piano playing by Lincoln Majorca. But I'm just gonna play a little bit of track. But listen to this. So pretty. Maybe too pretty for the audience at the time, audiences, but he goes on for 7-8 minutes.
Millionaires and paupers walk the hungry street. Rich and poor companion of the restless bee.
Stunningly beautiful. You'll have to check it out later. I don't want to get struck down, as they say. I don't know, but more people should listen to Phil Oakes, especially this album. My other copy is the earlier A&M label. This is my stereo version. God, just dropped the records on the floor, Mazzy. Another record is by C-Train. This is their first record on A&M Records. What a great artist-friendly label A&M was. Those guys, Moss and Herb Alpert, right? I mean, you know all the hits, obviously, but C-Train basically was the Blues Project, more or less. 90% of the Blues Project, 80%. I don't know, I don't have my calculations here. But I remember as a kid buying this record as a teenager, sight unseen. I mean, basically seen on sight, never heard it, saw it in a record store, and for some reason, I love that cover. I recognized Roy Bloomfield, Richard Green, a couple people, Andy Kullberg from the Blues Project, and I love this record. They later kind of changed a little bit, personnel, switched to Capitol Records with 2 records recorded, produced by George Martin. Obviously you know him as the Beatles producer, amongst other acts, but this record, they became more country. Peter Rowan kind of joined them later, but this record, I just love the intro here.
Walking out under the fog again. Let's try to explain if I'm up or across or downtown around just like that. The neon screen will never know when to be quiet or grieve and just not crowd the seams of my mind sound. I'm going under, I'm coming on out.
I'm gonna skip ahead only because this stays, you gotta hear this. Almost like classical riffs. And then Richard Green on his violin. I just want to play the whole album now, but you know the rules, baby. Next, Mercury on Mercury Records from the 80s. Now, Michelle Shocked, punk folk singer, skateboard singing, lesbian punk folk singer. This album is wonderful. In fact, all her records are great, and you might know about 10 years ago or so, she had this huge onstage meltdown, just like swore and yelled at the audience, and I don't know if she was institutionalized. Looks like this picture was taken at a protest in front of Moscone Center, the convention center in San Francisco. But she made great records. One of those maybe lost souls, but Michelle Shocked, punk, folk, more folky than punk, but her sensibilities are punk. The song's called When I Grow Up.
When I grow up, I wanna be an old woman. When I grow up, I wanna be an old woman. Oh, an old, 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 an old woman.
I mean, kind of, you know, she's got some alt country sensibilities, jazzy stuff too. But I tell you, you see this record around. I think I bought it on CD originally that I found the record, but it's a wonderful record. God, who produced it? But recorded Capitol Studio B, so it's a great sounding record too. So highly recommend that one. Number 4 out of 5 is a record. When I was in junior high school, I had a music teacher that every Friday would turn out the lights. Don't go there, woman teacher. Don't go there. And in our music class, music appreciation, more or less, and things, and she would play a record. And this was 1967, 8. So what a great time, right? I remember one of the records she did on a Friday, and this is not the one I'm playing, but was the first Velvet Underground record, Nico, Banana cover, You Know It All. You Know It Well. And she played, I remember she played Heroin. This is like San Francisco Bay Area, 1967, the 67, 68, you know, year, and she plays Heroin to a bunch of 14-year-olds. Today, that there would be an uproar. There would, especially everywhere. It'd be on. Someone would post a video of it, and that teacher would be fired and hung up and tarred and feathered or something. But I remember that song Heroin. I went out and bought that first Velvet Underground record because of that. And I did not start shooting heroin. But anyway, I digress. She also played this record, Zodiac Cosmic Sounds. Record Store Day a year ago put out a colored vinyl. Find this record. It's a guilty pleasure great. Spoken by Cyrus Farron. Sorry, I'm choking here. I don't have any water. I'm not going to take a break. I don't edit records. Electro Records. They were looking to do something psychedelic, something with the Moog synthesizer. So Paul Beaver was a Bernie Krause. Bernie Krause did some work on this, a lot of studio musicians. And basically it's the Signs of the Zodiac, spoken by, written by Mont Garrison, spoken by Cyrus Fannin, who's a Pisces. It lists all the signs of the zodiac, but it's just kind of pop psychedelic. Again, cosmic You need this record. Any of you good psych guys need this. Up, wrong side. Bear with me. In fact, maybe I just put Virgo on. I'm a Virgo, as you can tell by my neatness and organization. So, fuck it, I'm playing Virgo. Any of you Virgos out there?
Five o'clock doesn't end the workday. Virgo's nimble watchmaker mind ticks on. Four, 7, 8.5 is the wavelength of blue. Corundum is the reason for sapphire. Virgo, earth-bound builder of planes, land-locked draftsman of ships.
And the whole album's like that. Different arrangements, some moody, some upbeat. Each one talks about the sign. This is my original Elektra record. Purchased in 1967, Elektra Records. Just a great record. And mine actually has the added stereo sticker that they stuck on. See, this was a mono cover and they stuck the sticker on. This is that kind of time when stereo was just coming about, popular. In fact, I had, and I fucking got rid of it when I had a purge. The first Doors album on Elektra Records had that exact same sticker. It was a mono cover. Unfortunately, my copy was stereo. Well, still a great record. Anyway, lastly, a record that my guess is nobody here even knows this record. This record came out in 1974 when I worked in a record store in San Francisco. And it's, this is the record we would put on in the store and play in store, and we get two different reactions. People would say, what is that? And they want to buy it. And we sell a bunch of copies or a handful of copies. But it was also the record we put on Friday and Saturday nights. We were open till midnight. That was the days of like Tower Records. And I worked at a record factory store that you'd be open till midnight, but people wouldn't leave. They'd be stoned and looking for records, or they'd knock on the door right when you lock the door. I know exactly what I want. I know exactly what I want. Like at midnight, they know exactly what they want. Anyway, this is a record we put on to get people out of the store. And it's by Genevieve Waite. Romance is on the Rise. Genevieve Waite, at the time, was married to John Phillips, who was, you might know John Phillips, one of the Mamas and Papas, and that was after he divorced Michelle Phillips. He was married to her about 12, 13 years. They had a daughter who's an actress, not Mackenzie, that's what the other mother, starts with a J, Juno, I want to say Juno Phillips, Juji Phillips, no, I forget her name. She wrote some of the songs. John Phillips wrote some of the songs. There's an Irving Berlin song. In fact, if you can find the CD, which is around, there's like four or five outtakes, and it's not on the LP, but they do a version of Femme Fatale, you know, the Velvet Underground song, going back to Velvet Underground. But it's nothing like that. But you'll see why. You'll either love this record. I love this record. You either love this. Richard Avedon took the cover again. Avedon. You either love this, her voice, or you hate it. Genevieve Waite, 1974.
I think that love is coming back. I think romance is on the rise. And all across the world, all the boys and girls are making eyes.
And it's produced by John Phillips as well.
Everybody
So that's Mazzy's five records I like, and you may not. Mazzy loves you.